Hi there, this is Carolyn Pitts. Today I'd like to share with you two of my artwork pieces and tell you a little bit about the backstory. The first one is Effervescence. It's mostly the image of a rose with pinks and cream color, and it's on a background that has a lot of blues and aqua and turquoise. This piece is from my End in Mind collection, a celebration of life in the memento mori style. Memento mori is Latin for remember you die. And it's a style of art that is intended to remind us of our mortality. And for me, not necessarily from a morbid perspective, but as much from a joyful perspective to relish every day and make the most of it, because who knows how many days we have left. I didn't start out to create a memento mori collection. I started this series when I was taking care of my mom in her last months of life. And some of you know this story. People would bring her flowers, and when they wilted and were no longer nice, I would throw them away, and I started photographing them before I tossed them. And then I started creating pieces from the photographs of the dead flowers. And I was a couple pieces in before it kind of dawned on me that this was like memento mori art. Memento mori usually includes symbols like timepieces, dead animals, rotting fruit, skulls are a big thing. And the artwork does usually tend to be a little dark and dreary. But because to me this was a celebration of life, I used really vibrant and uplifting colors. And one of the things that I added to this piece that's kind of unique about it is the images there, the circles. Circles are from sacred geometry. They represent no beginning, no end, endlessness. And then also the spiral. Spiral's also from sacred geometry, and this is a design that shows up a lot in nature, in the shell of a snail, or the tail of a seahorse, or even the cochlea of our ear. So I brought some of that sacred geometry into this, and it's really hard to tell on the camera. There's just a lot of color. There's also some dust in there because all of the pieces in this collection, I showed some dust, that whole, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And the idea is that these images are transforming from their earthly shape back into energy. Einstein taught us that everything is energy, and energy is never created or destroyed, only transformed. The other piece that I want to show you also kind of has a big central image with a lot of background color, and this is leafing. It's takeoff on the word leaving, but because it has a leaf, I called it leafing. This particular image is based on a photograph that I took when I was on a woodland hike with two of my friends, Fran and Nancy. Shout out to you. We were visiting Fran's friend Ann Chenoweth, and we were hiking through the woods behind her farmhouse. And it was getting to be autumn, and I took a picture of this leaf on the ground and then later turned it into this piece. And again, there's an awful lot of detail and color going on in the background that just the camera just really can't pick it up and do it justice. From a distance, you just see the leaf, but you get up close and you see all the different layers, which is kind of like a woodland floor where there's all those different layers of leaves and debris, and that just beautiful, again, the leaves decaying, but then life coming back out through that decay. Both of these pieces, I work digitally. You may have seen my other video where I talk about how I create my pieces. They're all from original photographs, but then I work with them digitally in Photoshop, and I use something called a Wacom tablet and a stylus, which allows me to draw and paint as if I were doing it on canvas, but I'm doing it in the computer. And then because they're digital images, I get them printed the way you would print a photograph, except that I always work with fine art printers. So both of these pieces are printed on canvas, but using a G-clay process, which is a process with a particular kind of ink that's meant to hold up. Once the image is printed on canvas, it's then stretched over a wooden frame. These are very lightweight, but also wide, 1 3/4 inch frames, stretchers. And then it's finished on the back with the hanging hardware and the bumpers to protect your wall. And I feel like with a nice big stretcher like this, these pieces don't require framing. They look fine on the wall without it. There's a piece back there that's canvas stretched on a wooden frame. But they're also really lightweight. And because it's so wide, if you didn't want to hang it on the wall, you could also just set it on a shelf or lean it on a mantle or something. So anyway, that's about these two pieces. Again, leafing. And I don't know if I told you the name of the other one. The other one is Effervescence. And I called it that because I feel like it's so sparkly and bubbly, especially with all of the circles. Both these pieces are going to be on exhibit in a show coming up through the Metro Richmond Artists Association. I've got all of the information down below in the comments, so check it out. Thank you for listening and have a beautiful day.